Charles, can you say a little bit more about the African announcement delay? Others, it's on their side. We're ready to go. In fact, I signed a decision memo last week specifically to hire more than 30 people in Ethiopia. The big issue was that it had to go because it wasn't tendered properly through a special committee. And that special committee finally signed off. Give you the exact date. It was actually this week. That committee signed off as of, looking at my back and forth with John, Thursday, March 25th. So now it goes straight to the minister to sign. So we'll have more to say about that. But that's the last mile right there. And the committee was very onerous on a lot of requirements. Like they wanted certain minutes done a certain way and certain things to appear in a certain thing and rah, rah, rah. A lot of government bureaucracy. That said, we got to a point where we were very confident because everybody wanted the deal to go through and there was no one else involved in it. So we said, all right, setting bureaucracy aside, let's go ahead and start scaling and building. And what we're going to do is, because we promised some people an exclusive, we're not going to say too much about that. But all of that is bundled together with the Africa special. So when you see Africa special, you'll see all that stuff. But I feel very confident in it. I was a bit perplexed because back in October everything was good, and then it wasn't. And I was like, okay. And then we felt very solid in January. Then we felt very solid in February. And then what happens is just more and more bureaucracy and more people got involved and more things happened. But it got to a breaking point where we're like, guys, come on. And March 25th was really the date that kind of pushed that through. And so now it's more formality than anything else. But, that's the nature of business with governments, not just African governments, but governments in general, especially when you do things that are a little unorthodox, is that you have to sometimes tolerate that when other actors come in, it slows things down and bureaucracy gets involved. Because at the end of the day, they represent their people and they want their people to, get the best outcome. And I live and eat and sleep and breathe this stuff. I wake up every day with this stuff. And we're fired up and ready to go. But, some other guy out there, this is the first time they've seen it and thought about it. And so it's scary and it's a lot to think about. It's a lot to do. It's a big commitment. And if you get that guy comfortable, what happens when the new guy comes in? You got to get that guy comfortable. And it's a process, and it's a finite process because you run out of guys. Eventually you get through all of them. It's like bosses, but you have to be patient. And that's the downside of the push model with public-private partnerships. But on the other side, if you get it done, you get access to millions of people, and you usually have strong barriers to exit and long arc deals that you do. But we are going to start moving to a pull model as well and doing consumer products in 2022 in Africa that are in the payments and in the identity space. And I think both Prism and Hydra will have matured to a point, as well as obviously the smart contract stack of Cardano, where that's a viable strategy. But it's going to be very expensive. It's going to cost me at least $10 to $20 million a year for several years at a loss to get to a point where we can get a sustainable market. But what the hell else am I going to do? Come on. It's fun. I love these deals. I love these markets. I love running around Africa. It's a lot more fun than being in Silicon Valley.